y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a book haul. I have a lot of ideas for some videos coming, but I haven't been feeling well the past few days, so I haven't got them filmed. And this was an easy video to do real quick. I had enough to do one, of course. I'll start with the books sent to me. I have two. First we have Curious World of Dandelion by Lorraine, Hawley. This is it's got a reader's favorite 5-star sticker on it. It's a naked hardback. It's very soft. The author reached out to me and she very kindly sent this to me. Beautiful illustrations, sweet card. She also sent a shirt, which I loved. It's so soft. It's got this symbol on it, and it's just a gray t-shirt. And on the back it says Curious World of Dandelion. I was just so excited. I just love that. Can't wait to wear that soon. In a small Indiana town, Meredith experiences whimsical within the mundane. Fireflies dance inside lampposts, flowers wave in greeting, and an opinionated beetle named Floss wreaks havoc on her life. No one believes her, not even her parents, but more pressing problems are at hand. The widower neighbor, who is like her grandparent, won't leave his home. He has been jinxed, Meredith believes, by Billy, aka her bully. Desperate to free Mr. Dolly, Meredith devises a plan. What can go wrong? With Floss sabotaging her? Everything. The task may be more than she can handle alone. Then Meredith meets Jax, a curious boy who claims to see her extraordinary friends. He agrees to help. Against her better judgment, Meredith leads him inside her fantastical world, only to discover Jack has plans of his own. So that just sounds so great, and I just love the cover, and I can't wait to discover what everything means, and it just sounds so incredible. Thank you so much. And then I got Francis and the Monster by Refe Tuma. This comes out August of this year. I think it's August 23rd. And the author had posted on his Instagram about arcs, and if you were interested, message him or something like that. And it had said arcs, and then he talked about NetGalley, so I thought it was two separate things, but it wasn't. It was for ebooks for NetGalley and another Eldwise. I don't know about that one, but. So I was like, I'm so sorry I wasted your time. I thought you meant physical or NetGalley, but ebooks trigger my migraines, so I can't really read them. But thank you so much, and I'll just look forward to release day. And he was like, no worries. If I do get some physical arcs in, I'll keep you on mind. I'll put you on a list. And it wasn't even a month later, he messaged me and was like, I got some physical arcs in, if you're still interested. And I was like, yes. So I love that, and I'm so appreciative to him and all the other authors and even publishers that are so understanding of that. It means a lot. I could read so many more books if I read ebooks, and I know that, like NetGalley, I would have all of them read if whatever they approved me. But unfortunately, it's not worth it. Migraines are horrible, so I don't want to encourage them. So thank you so much, Dan. This is one of my most highly anticipated releases. It just sounds so up my alley. What would you do if you accidentally brought a monster to life and set it loose on your town? If you're Francis Stenzel, aspiring scientist, you'd recruit your lock-picking pet chimp, Fritz, and your sarcastic robot tutor, Hobbs, and it's spelled out with H-O-B-B-E-S, and embark on a quest to find and stop the monster, braving a persistent constable, angry locals, and friendship along the way. The adventure of Serafina and the Black Cloak meets the clever mysteries of Green Glass House in this middle-grade twist on Frankenstein, complete with a precocious main character bound to steal your heart. I love that. So Green Glass House is one of my top all-time favorites, like all of them. It's such a wide expanse of books and the world. It's probably my second favorite series of all times. First, of course, School for Good and Evil. But you mentioned that, and then Serafina and the Black Cloak sounds right up my alley, and it's a series I want to read, and I have it in my bedroom because I want to start it soon. So that plus a twist on Frankenstein, and then the sci-fi type stuff with her robot, and then the sarcastic robot tutor, and then her lock-picking pet chimp. It just sounds incredible, and I'm so excited. So thank you so much. Thank you to both of those authors. And then next, just the books I got myself. I bought a lot of indie-looking books, which I always love that. They just always are so beautiful and sound so great, and I just love discovering new books. And this is a sequel. I got it because it was like $3, so I picked it up. I still need to get the first book though, so I'm waiting for it to come at a good price, so I won't read the synopsis, but this is part of the Portal Adventures, Crisis at Calista Station. and it's by Andrew J. Harvey. And these just sounded incredible. So while the sequel was only like $3, I picked it up. So very excited for that. And I got Harriet Hall and the Miracle Cure by Sonia Garrett. Such beautiful. An animal-loving kid displaced by the war, an unlikely ally among the trees, a heart-stopping secret threatening to poison her life. 1940. Harriet Hall is desperate for a friend. Evacuated from London with her ailing mother and sent to live with her unruly Canadian relatives, the independent 12-year-old is tired of the turmoil. And with her cousins driving her crazy, her mom's latest hurried trip to the hospital is enough to send the lonely girl running into the forbidden forest and straight into a sympathetic Sasquatch. Ecstatic to finally have a companion, Harriet is overwhelmed when the creature shows her a cabin where her parents' doctor conducts strange experiments. And revealing the truth to save her sickly mother means putting herself in harm's way. Can Harriet and her wild ally defeat the evil adult before it's too late? A Sasquatch, 1940, war. I love historical fiction, books about the war, and especially when they have a twist on them, such as this. Like, you know, there's not many that do they're like a fantasy twist, but excited to see what this author does. And I think there are 2 books currently out of this one. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or just a duology, or if there's going to be more, but I just got the first book for now. It's Where Dragonwoof Sleep and the Fading Creeps by A.J. Massey. Since it's only 2 books, I might go back on there, and if I can get it for a good price, I might get the second one. But for now, I just got the first one, and it's just so beautiful. A normal 8th grader by day, 13-year-old Ben awakens one night in a fantastical dream world where snow burns, the sun disappears and reappears without warning, and magic is addictive. But the mysterious realm of Meridia is disappearing, eaten by a phenomena called the Fading. Joined by Avery, Marcus, and 3 dog-like dragonwolves, Ben journeys across monster-infested oceans and sun-scorched mountains to retrieve the Sphinx's head, the key to saving the world and every astonishing creature that inhabits it. But not everyone wants them to succeed. Soon they find themselves pursued by the Sovereign and his generals, whose armies will stop at nothing to perpetrate the Fading and its consumption of the land. That just sounds incredible. Great friendship, fantastic looking world, and creatures that are just so cute. So very excited. I got The Great White Bear. This looks like the first in the series called World's Deadliest School Trips by James DuBern. 6 children in Canada are taken to the subarctic wilderness to view polar bears. They become snowbound in a fort with its terrifying owner, Mr. LeGrave. With escape attempts thwarted, Lance and his schoolmates must find the courage to face down the grave and the massive polar bear which terrorizes the estate. It just sounded like a fun, atmospheric adventure and kind of unique, so very excited to have that. And this, so far, is a trilogy plus a novella. I don't know if there will be more, if it'll just stay that way, but it's Mage Mother series, and this is The Mage and the Magpie by Austin J. Bailey. Had my eye on this one for a while, actually this one and this one. Brinley has spent most of her life lost in her own imagination, teaching bullfrogs to do gymnastics and pretending to be invisible. Now, when a magic bell from another world summons her across time and space on a journey to find her mother, she will discover real friendship, face true evil, and overcome her greatest fears in order to save the one she loves. Sounds so good. Oh, now I see the shape. Wow, I just now saw the shape of the bell that she's standing in. So very excited. The next 3 are also series I've been having my own for quite a while. This is A Botanic Hill Detectives Mystery. That's part of the series. I don't know how many are out in this currently, 3 or 4, but I got the first book. Nutmeg Street Egyptian Secrets by Sherrill Joseph. World-famous Egyptologist Dr. Winston Thornsley died suddenly 2 months ago in disgrace. His widow, Ida Thornsley, remains convinced her husband was falsely accused of stealing an ancient burial urn he discovered in Egypt last summer, but local and federal law enforcement officers are stumped. Mrs. Thornsley, desperate for answers, calls in her 13-year-old neighbors, the Botanic Hill Detectives, twins Lanny and Lexi Wyatt, Moki Kalani, and Rani Kumar. Their exciting mission? To find the urn and its real thief, bring the criminal to justice, and exonerate Dr. Thornsley so his spotless reputation can be restored. A room full of venomous snakes, the poisoned Egyptian pond, and Dragon Pit Man are just a few of the tests awaiting the 4 tech-savvy teenagers. As the detectives begin to unravel the sinister plot, the mystery takes a dangerous turn. Answers are at their fingertips, if they can only convince their parents to let them solve the case. So mystery, middle grade, especially detective-style mystery, middle grade. So I'm very excited. And then I got 2 books in this series. I got book 2 and book 4, so I can't read the synopsis, but it's a series I've wanted for a while. And these two were on sale for like $3 and some on Amazon, so I grabbed them up. So I still need to get books 2 and 3. I don't know if there's any more after 4, but it's the Nikolas and Company series by Kevin McGill. This is book 2, When Boats Breathe and Cities Speak. And then book 4, Fire of the Lion's Brim. I'm excited to finally at least have 2 of those in the series. And the other one that I've been wanting forever, I finally got book 1. I think there's 4 out right now, or there's 3 and the 4th one's coming. Starfell, book 1, The Book of Chaos by Jessica Renwick. So excited to finally have the first one. Not all books are meant to be read. Fable Nothoch lives in a quiet, safe life in the village of Larkmoor, full of regular people leading normal lives. There is no magic here, none except for the spark that runs through Fable's veins. She is different than the others here. Living under the roof of her overprotective aunt, her magic is kept secret, hidden inside the walls of their cottage. When a strange book lands in Fable's lap and her cousin disappears into its pages, she follows, hurtling into an enchanted forest far from the rolling hills of her home. This is a land filled with strange people, magic, and more danger than Fable has ever dreamed of. She must battle for not only a way home, but for the lives of those she loves dearest. With the help of her peculiar new friends, Fable must learn to trust in herself or risk losing her cousin forever. Can she save him before it's too late? So excited. Yay. And I got Bixby Timmons and the Dragonthorpe Riddle by Dwight D. Karkin. A Missing Genius, a high-stakes challenge. Can a timid teen solve a virtual mystery? Shy teenager Bixby Timmons hates chains, so when her family is asked to care for billionaire Cody Dragonthorpe's mansion after he disappears, she's not thrilled to leave her friends and home. But she soon discovers the vanished tech mogul left clues around the manor that could reveal his location and win her a $100 million prize. With help from her family, Bixby is determined to decode the riddle, but 4 other competitors stand in her way, and with everyone seemingly ready to betray anyone at a moment's notice to gain the lead, she'll have to come out of her shell and find the strength to advance to the next level. Does Bixby have what it takes to unlock the greatest puzzle ever invented? So mystery puzzle just sounds, I'm very intrigued by this. So happy to have it. I think there's 2 more books in this series, but I just got the first 3 for now. They had the best covers and the other 2 are different. So I just waited until I read it to get the rest because I got these on eBay and then this one was a great price, so that's why I got the 3 of them. Not sure what the series is called, but we have the Dragon Whisperer, Lucinda Hare, Flight to Dragon Isle, and then Dragon Lords Rising. Quenelda has always had a magical bond with dragons, and her greatest wish is to fly one and fight alongside her father in the brutal war against the hobgoblins. Rue's greatest wish is to avoid fearsome, fire-breathing dragons at all costs, so when he is made Quenelda's esquire, sparks start to fly. But an unexpected friendship is forged, and when Dragon's Dome is threatened by a deadly plot, this unlikely duo must find a way to defeat the dark forces. Epic battles, whispered legends, and soaring magic weave together in this breathtaking debut fantasy. Very excited. And I got The Luckiest Bookworm by Brian Rowe. 12-year-old Katie Powell loves books. Between growing up in a small town, losing her parents at an early age, and facing the wrath of an evil stepmother on a daily basis, Katie has always turned to stories for an escape. So when she discovers a portal in her middle school library that takes her into the world of any book ever written, it is like all of her dreams have come true. Or have they? At first, Katie flips at the sight of the March sisters and adores walking the yellow brick road with Dorothy. But the deeper in she gets, the more treacherous her journey becomes. Dracula chases her through his castle, and the big bad wolf nearly rips off her head. Her best friend Ben uses the portal for revenge on a bully, and worst of all, Katie becomes addicted. Why bother reading books at all if you can see the world's for real? In the end, Katie has a decision to make. Keep visiting her favorite stories or abandon the portal for good, before it puts the people closest to her in unthinkable danger. That just sounds so... I love how going into books, it's like a twist on that, because it's always such a great thing, and it does sound like a great thing, but it does make sense that you would become addicted. So I'm interested to see the author's take and where that goes. And I got 2 Sharon Creech books. The first one is Granny Torelli Makes Soup. This is just a short one, but it just sounds so cute, and I always hear the best things about her. 12-year-old Rosie and her best friend Bailey don't always get along. That's true. But Granny Torelli seems to know just how to make things right again with her interesting stories and family recipes. It's easier to remember what's important about love, life, and friendship while Granny Torelli makes soup. It sounds so cute and heartwarming, so very excited. And then Walk 2 Moons. This is a Extras Inside 25th Anniversary Edition. It's a Newbery Medal winner, it looks like. And I think this is a companion to another book I have of hers. I don't think there's sequels, but I think it's listed as a companion. Can't remember which one that is now, but. As Sal entertains her grandparents with Phoebe's outrageous story, her own story begins to unfold. The story of a 13-year-old girl whose only wish is to be reunited with her missing mother. Sounds so wonderful. Can't wait. And I think this is the third book in this trilogy, so I'm not going to read the synopsis, but I've had the other 2 books for like 2 years. And I'm so happy to finally have the other book. This is The Night Spinner by Abby Elphinstone. And I have The Shadow Keeper and The Dream Snatcher. So I'm happy to finally have this one. I don't know what the series is called, but I love her books, so I'm excited to finally have this complete so I can binge read it eventually. I got Honest June. It's by Tina Wells. This is a naked hardback. I think this is going to be a series because there's a sequel right there that'll be released later on this year. There's beautiful illustrations throughout. Middle school is hard, but it's way harder when a fairy godmother puts you under a truth-telling spell. June has always been a people pleaser, telling harmless little lies to make friends and family happy. She's convinced being honest about her feelings will only hurt the people she loves. Until out of nowhere, a secret fairy godmother appears to bless her with the ability to only tell the truth. Seriously? Now she has no choice but to be honest. And the truth is this: June feels stressed out. Middle school is no joke. Between field hockey, friend drama, and her parents' high expectations, she feels so overwhelmed that sometimes it's hard to breathe. When everything spirals out of control, will June find freedom in telling the whole truth and nothing but? Or is she just destined to battle the curse for the rest of her life? That just sounds so intriguing, creative, unique. Can't wait. I think this series is going to be called A Meta Normal. And this is Anderson's Light by Tanya D. Dawson. I think this is upper middle grade. 14-and-a-half-year-old Georgie Ray Jones rockets beyond the tattered remnants of her self-confidence to save her siblings from an innuendo-charged family life and the stepdad she's dubbed, yeah, definitely upper middle grade because that says Jack, but we'll say it like that. Now living in Mystic Creek, Oregon with her dad, Georgie discovers her life as she once knew it will change forever. After her friend Sean is pummeled by a dodgeball thrown by a bully, Georgie intervenes, only to send the bully flying across the schoolyard. Reeling with shock and worry, yet fueled by a wildfire of inner metamorphosis, she searches for answers, but it is family friend Luther Anderson, lighthouse keeper, mystic, and professor, who explains she is a meta-normal. This is the day Luther has been waiting for. So intrigued. Can't wait. And then I got Black Panther, The Young Prince by Ronald L. Smith. And the second book, I think, comes out in February. So when I saw this for a good price, I picked it up. I love every book I've read, but I think I've read 3 books by him now. Gloomtown, The Mesmerist, and Hoodoo, and I love his writing. Black Panther, ruler of Wakanda, Avenger. This is his destiny, but right now he's simply T'Challa, the young prince. Life is comfortable for 12-year-old T'Challa in his home of Wakanda, an isolated, technologically advanced African nation. When he's not learning how to rule a kingdom from his father, the reigning Black Panther, or testing out the latest tech, he's off breaking rules with his best friend, M'Baku. But as conflict brews near Wakanda, T'Challa's father makes a startling announcement. He's sending T'Challa and M'Baku to school in America. This is no prestigious private academy. They've been enrolled in Southside Middle School in the heart of Chicago. Despite being given a high-tech suit and a vibranium ring to use only in case of emergency, T'Challa realizes he might not be equipped to handle life in America as he thought, especially when it comes to navigating new friendships while hiding his true identity as the prince of a powerful nation and avoiding Gemini Jones, a menacing classmate who is rumored to be involved in dark magic. When strange things begin happening around school, T'Challa sets out to uncover the source. What he discovers in the process is far more sinister than he could have ever imagined. In order to protect his friends and stop an ancient evil, T'Challa must take on the mantle of a hero, setting him on the path to become the Black Panther. Usually don't care about Marvel stuff, but I've always been interested in the Black Panther, and this synopsis had me hooked. Plus, I love this author, so I'm very excited. I have Operation Sisterhood by, I'm not going to say this right, Olugbemisola Rude Perkovic. I'm sorry if I totally mangled saying that. Bo and her mom always had their own rhythm, just the two of them, but ever since they moved from the Bronx to Harlem, Bo's world has fallen out of sync. She and Mom are now living with Mom's boyfriend Bill, his daughter Sunday, and the twins, Lil and Lee, and their parents, along with a dog, 2 cats, a bearded dragon, a turtle, and chickens, all in one brownstone. With so many people and animals squished together, Bo isn't sure if there is room for her. Luckily, it isn't long before a shared love of music and a touch of mischief has Bo changing her tune. And with a wedding on the horizon, Beau and her new family are ready to band together for the best celebration their block has ever seen. I had a bearded dragon. He was a little over 10 when he died, I think. So I love that that was in there. But I can't read. It just sounds heartwarming and special. And I see the cat and the dog and the chickens on the cover. I don't see the bearded. Oh, there he is. Love that. And I got Hide and Geek by T.P. Jagger. The Geeks. Gina, Edgar, Elena, and Kevin. And the first letter of all their names spells out geek. Have been best friends for as long as they can remember. So when their arch nemesis points out that their initials make them literally geeks, they decide to go with it. The problem. The Geeks' hometown of Elmwood was once the headquarters of the famous toy maker Maxine Van Houten. Her popular puzzle sphere, the Bamboozler, put the town on the map. But Maxine passed away long ago. Now the toy factory is shutting down, and Elena's mom and Kevin's dad are losing their jobs. Their families might have to move, and that would mean splitting up the Geeks. The quest. Maxine left one final puzzle, a treasure hunt that will save the town and keep the friends together. But only those who know and love Elmwood best will be able to solve it. Geeks to the rescue. So puzzles, a mission, adventure, friendships. It just sounds so good. I'm so excited. And we have The Girl in the Lake by India Hill Brown. Such a beautiful cover. I love that purple. Purple is my favorite color. Don't be afraid of the water. Celeste knows she should be excited to spend 2 weeks at her grandparents' lake house with her brother Owen and their cousins Capri and Daisy, but she's not. After failing her swimming lesson, she is done with the water, and she knows the trip is just a way to get her in the lake. Her grandparents are strong believers in their family knowing how to swim, especially having grown up during time of segregation at public pools. They want Celeste to have the opportunities they never did. Celeste insists on spending her visit on dry land. Soon, strange things start happening when she's alone. The sound of footsteps overheard late at night. A flickering light in the attic window, and then Celeste's cousins start accusing her of playing cruel pranks on them when she's been nowhere near them. Things at the old house keep getting scarier until one evening Celeste looks in the steamy mirror after a shower and sees her face, but twisted, different. Who is this girl in the mirror, and what does she want? Past and present mingle in the spine-tingling ghost story by India Hill Brown, author of The Forgotten Girl. That sounds so incredible. And this sounds great. Escape from Atlantis by Kate O'Hearn. And I have all of this author's books. The Pegasus series, the Titan series, and then the Valkyrie. Yeah, I have all of those. So I'm excited to add this. I love the ocean, so I love ocean stories. And I've discovered that I love Atlantis stories. So I was very happy to see this coming out. The last way that Riley wanted to spend spring break was studying whales on the family sailboat in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. With only her dad, aunt, and annoying cousin Alfie for company, she is so bored staring at the waves that she's starting to see mermaids between them. But when their boat is capsized during a sudden storm, Raleigh finds more excitement than she bargained for, as she and Alfie are washed ashore with neither of their parents in sight. Where they've been shipwrecked is no deserted island, though. Atlantis is a place beyond imagination, inhabited by both people and incredible creatures ranging from unicorns and gargoyles to talking animals. But not everyone welcomes the cousin's arrival, and beneath the wonder of this mythical land lurk dangerous secrets. Something strange is happening to the inhabitants. What Riley wants more than anything is to find her father and go home, but the closer she gets to this goal, the more the islanders seem determined to keep her from reaching it. As Riley and Alfie unravel the mystery of Atlantis and its most terrifying part, the Forbidden Zone, they realize that the clock is ticking. If they can't learn what happened to their parents and find a way off the island soon, it may be too late to leave. Very intrigued by that, and cannot wait. Sounds amazing. Very excited. Alright, y'all, that's all for this video. If you see any that you're excited about too, have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments. Today's shirt is a wolf. My favorite animal, of course. Reminds me of my pup. If you would like to subscribe, I would love that if you would like to. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.